Subscribe to my channel Making Impossible and press the bell icon so that you don't miss any one of my upcoming videos.
Yo, what's up friends? I'm Sholazari and welcome back to Making Impossible, the channel that teaches you how to make the impossible and be the smartest person in the room. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you a really cool and easy mentalism card trick which is almost self-working, and yes, you doesn't require any sleight of hand for doing this card trick, but it does require a little bit of setup which I'm going to show you in the tutorial. But before that, let's see the performance.
This week's Instagram feature goes to Fanatic Magic. Follow him on Instagram, link is given in the video description. I'll feature one lucky Instagram user every Monday in my Smack That Monday episodes. If you want your Instagram profile or page to be featured in my next Smack That Monday episode, follow the simple steps that are given in the video description. So now, let's continue.
Okay guys, this is how the card trick looks like. First of all, you can see I have this deck of cards which is pretty much shuffled, right? Still, I'm going to give it few cuts just like this, and if you want, I can also give it some kind of shuffles just like this. So it was actually a fancy shuffle, yes, but let me give it one more cut. Okay, so right now this deck of cards, as you can see over here, is still mixed up, right? It was mixed up in the beginning, it's still mixed up right now, but it's in a haphazard order, right? So what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to hand this deck over to my spectator and ask him or her to cut this deck from a certain point. So let's say the spectator cuts this deck from a random point, for example this one. Okay, so this is the card that the spectator has cut to. Now I'm not going to see this card, instead of that I'm going to show you this card. Just remember this card. Okay, let me focus at first. So okay, I'm going to turn my head and you're going to see this card. I'm not seeing this card. Okay, just remember this card. Alright, now I'm going to take this card, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just ask my spectator. Actually, the entire thing is being done by the spectator. The spectator will put their card somewhere inside in the center of this pack, right? And it's done. So I don't know which card the spectator has chosen, but here is something that I'm going to do. So you're my spectator, you know the card. I haven't seen the card. I was actually turning my face away from the camera. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to spread this deck of cards just like this so that you can see it and I can see it. Now I'm going to move my fingers, one finger. I'm going to move my finger, index finger, upon all of these cards, and I'm going to just ask you to think of your card whenever I reach near your card. Okay, so let's start. Okay, just keep on thinking. Okay, think of your card. Okay, just keep on thinking. I feel the attraction is more about here, so let's just separate this much. Okay, let's separate this much. Keep on thinking your card. Okay, I feel like this is somewhere around these three cards. Okay, so these two cards goes away. I think, just think of your card, just think of your card. I think, yes, this one. I think this is the card because I feel force that has been generated in my finger. I feel this is your card. Is this your card? If this is, then this is a great trick, and yes, I'll show you how this trick is done. And yes, let's move on to the tutorial. Okay guys, this is how the trick is done. Now first of all, to do this trick you need to have your deck in the size 7's card stacking. That means it's a special arrangement of cards which looks like that this deck is shuffled, but it's actually not. These cards are actually in a particular order, and if you give just one cut to this deck and complete that cut, then this deck stays in that particular order, that is the size 7 stacking. And yes, I'm not going to actually go through the size 7 stacking in this video because it's going to be very long otherwise. So what I've done is I've uploaded a video on the size 7 card stacking, and the link to that video will be given in the description box as well as in the cards. It's actually my previous video. So what you have to do is you have to set this deck of cards into the size 7 stacking. And after you have done that, you are actually going to do this trick. Now remember guys, if you just give only one cut, the stack is not disturbed. That means the order of the cards remains same. And for that reason, the shuffles that I have given, you have seen that just one cuts or just one swing cut. And for doing it more advanced, I did the false shuffle that looks like this, and I have a tutorial for this false shuffle, and the link to this tutorial will be given in the description box as well as in the cards. Now the thing is, you can use any false shuffle you want to, but if you want to know this false shuffle that I did, you can actually go and visit this tutorial. So make sure you check that link out in the description box. Now after doing all kind of false shuffles and just single complete cuts, your deck is still in the size 7 stacking. Now here is the thing, you're going to hand this deck over to your spectator and ask him or her to cut this deck from any point they want to. And literally they can cut this deck from any point they want to. For example, they can cut from this point, or maybe from this point, or maybe from the middle, or maybe from near about the bottom card. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're just going to ask them to cut this deck from any point, and let's say they just cut this deck from here. Okay, and they're going to keep this part over here and ask them to keep this part on top of that first part. Now ask them to take a look at this card, and they will just take a look at this card, and then ask them to insert this card somewhere in the center of the deck completely, and then leave the deck on the table. Now you have already asked them to do many of these things, and they have actually done it. Now the secret to find their card is very much simple. You're going to turn this deck over, and you're going to spread this entire deck just like this so that you can show them the cards. But what you're actually doing is you're actually going to tell them that you're going to show them all of the cards as well as you're going to see all of these cards. But what you are going to do is you're actually going to look at the bottom card, which is this one. So this is your key card, and using this card you will be able to find the spectator selected card. Now the spectator has selected the 8 of clubs, and since we have this deck in the size 7 stacking, she has selected the card from over here and put that card in the center of this deck, right? Then if you look at the bottom card, and if you add 3, that is 5 plus 3 equals to 8, and we know the size stacking order is clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds. So first we have clubs, then hearts, then spades, then diamonds. So if we have diamonds, that is the last one, then we are actually going back to the first one, that is the clubs. So 5, we are going to add 3, that is 8. Then if we go to the first one, that is the clubs, so we are going to know that it is the 8 of clubs. But what you are going to do is you're just going to spread this deck and tell your spectator that you are going to read their mind, and you're spreading this deck so that they can see all of these cards as well as you can see all of these cards. And actually what you're going to do is you're just going to see this card and calculate what the card was on the top of this deck. Okay, so what you're going to do at this point is you're going to move your finger just like this and ask your spectator to think of the card. And you already know these cards, that is the 8 of clubs, but you're still going to act like you don't know the card, and you're going to move your fingers just like this, then do some little bit of magical drama and bring these cards apart, and then just go like this and then point on their card and just push it forward. And they will be shocked because you haven't seen their card, and they have just done the entire thing. They have cut the deck from a random point. They have taken that card and put it in the center of the deck, but they don't know that you are actually calculating what they have done. So that's how you fool them, and that's how, by seeing the bottom card, you are actually able to figure out what their selection is. Now after all of this is over, what you're going to do is you're just going to gather this entire deck up except for the spectator's card. You're going to take this card outside and then show it to your spectator and ask if you are right or wrong. Yes, obviously the spectator is going to say that you are right. And what you're going to do is you're just going to take this card, put it on the bottom of this deck or on the top of the deck, and if you actually do put this on the bottom of the deck or on the top of the deck, then the deck is again back in the size step and card stacking, and that is how this trick is actually done. And you can again do this trick with this deck again. So this deck is completely set for this trick to be done for the second time, and you can do this trick as many times as you want to. Okay, and this is the pretty much self-working trick, but for this you obviously need the setup, that is the size step and stacking, and link is given in the video description to know how the size step and stacking is done. And that's it for the tutorial. So I hope you enjoyed learning this amazing mentalism card trick. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you did so. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at @shol_zari. Also, if you have any questions, you can use the comment section for that. And don't forget to subscribe to my other channel, which is pretty much Savage channel. I post funny videos over there. And I'll leave a link to that channel in the description box as well as in the cards. And don't forget to smash the subscribe button of this channel if you're not a subscriber yet. And turn on the post notifications so that you don't miss my upcoming videos and my future Smack That Monday episodes. Peace!